Namaste dear students, welcome back again, and today we are going to discuss about the principles of marketing subject. In that we are already started the fifth lesson called retail marketing. So as of now we have done enough topics, so today we are going to cover the major topic, that is the major functions of retailing business. So what are the major functions which is conducted or which is done by the retailers? So that is what we are going to understand. So in already we have explained in the meaning and definition part, we have explained a few points about the functions of retailing. So let us see what are all the major functions of retailing. So first and foremost function of a retailer is about breaking the bulk. So what is this all about, breaking the bulk? The basic function of a retailer is to break the bulk. See, I have already said that in a meaning of the retailer. So manufacturer or supplier will sell the goods in a large quantity. So that large quantity will be broken into small quantities on the convenience of the customers. So that is done by a retailer, correct? So let us see what your book says again. So that is breaking the bulk, that first point has been highlighted. So this function of retailers is to break the bulk. So retailers breaks up the large quantity into smaller units appropriated for consumer needs. See, as per the convenience of the consumer, as per the need of the consumer, we have to, as a retailer, we have to break that large bulk into small quantity of goods. An individual consumer cannot purchase an article in bulk. However, he expects convenience, cost, storage, etc. So convenience, it is not about only the quantity of the goods, it is again the convenience of storage capacity of the consumer. It is again the cost of the cost has to be incurred to buy that particular product. So all these are included in that particular concept. So therefore retailers divide a large quantity into smaller units, such as individuals, cans, bottles, sachets, packets, into small quantities. So that is what we exactly call here as a breaking the bulk. So next, further moving on to the second point, which clearly speaks about the second point, clearly tells us about creating utility. See, first function is breaking the bulk. So second function is creating utility. So what exactly creating utility is all about? See, very simple thing. Retailing provides place, time and the position utilities to the products. So try to understand. Retailing provides a place, a time and a position utilities to products. Retailers have shopping establishments very close to consuming centers. All the retailers are closely established in the point of consumers, in the place of consumers. So that is what it establishments very close to consumer. So they supply the required quantities at the place and time desired by the consumers. So consumers place, consumer timings, the product will be supplied. So consumers are not able to contact manufacturers or the wholesaler for their requirements, because manufacturing stations are away from consuming centers. Similarly, stockist, so one who holds a large stock of that goods, even we can call the wholesaler also like that, have their godowns or warehouses away from the consuming centers. So the time, the place, the position hindrances have been properly answered by the retailers. See, production places in different localities, storing places are in different localities, but the retailers are in the consumer's locality, who will buy the goods in large quantities from the wholesaler or producers or stockist. So and that will be supplied to the consumer in a place where consumer can conveniently reach at a time which consumer can conveniently visit and buy, and at the quantity where the consumer can carry easily. So all these points included in this creating utility point. So you have to understand. So briefly I am briefing out all the points in detail, so you have to keep these points in your mind. So next, third point here, which clearly highlights supplying varieties of goods. See, as a manufacturer, as a wholesaler, as a stockist, you will deal with only one or two products, isn't it? You cannot, create a large goods of multiple products, correct? So you have to hold one or two goods. You cannot have variety of goods, but the retailers can hold variety of goods which has been divided in small quantities, correct? So retailers buy different varieties of goods from large number of manufacturers or wholesalers and maintain complete range of stocks at their showroom. Thus, consumers have the best choice in selecting their needs from wide variety of merchandise. See, when a wholesaler or when a producer can have only limited number of products, he cannot give many varieties of products for the selection. Clear? But whereas a retailer can keep multiple varieties of goods so that which consumer can select easily according to his needs, according to his taste, according to his budget, everything. Clear? So for example, see, if you take an example of soap, so a wholesaler or a manufacturer can have only one or two varieties of soap, bathing soap. But whereas retailers will keep more than 100 varieties of bathing soap, correct? So that is the major speciality of keeping variety of products in the showroom. So next point, credit facility of consumers. Before explaining this, I wanted to ask you people that how many of you have your neighboring regular shop where you will go and buy products according to your needs, according to your wants, whenever you want? I think many of you people. And now tell me, how many of you pay ready cash to them and buy your products, and how many of them you people will tell, so take a note of this or keep a maintain an account of this, and we will be settling this at the beginning of the month or the last date of the month. Just remember, so these are the smaller facilities which is provided by the retailers to the consumers. So that is what we call it as a credit facilities to the consumers. So retailers grant credit facilities to their regular and trustworthy consumers. Try to understand, all the new customers cannot get the credit facility. So the credit facility will be granted to the regular and trustworthy customers only. So credit facilities increases the short-term purchasing power of consumers. Beside this, credit increases retailers' turnover also increases. So increased turnover enhances profits. By this, retailers are able to get better terms from manufacturer or wholesalers during purchases. So try to understand, there are a lot of retailers one who deals, so where we tell them that we will be going to pay in the month, beginning of the month or in the last day of the month. So this is called short term credit facilities, which is provided by a retailer to the regulars and trustworthy consumers. Clear? So those customers or consumers are going to pay this at the end of the month or beginning of the month. So due to this, the purchasing power of those consumers are increases. So when purchasing power increases, sales also increases. Once sale increases, automatically profit also increases. When profit increases, automatically So the purchasing power of the retailer, he can buy in large quantities from the wholesalers and producers. So that is what that credit facility which is provided by the retailer, point number 4, is clearly tells about us. Next, point number 5, means of information to consumers and wholesalers. So what is this means of information to consumers and wholesalers? See, this point is also I have already explained you people at the time of explaining the meaning and definition of retailer. So who is a retailer? Is the last link between the producer or wholesaler and the consumer, ultimate consumer. So who will collect the information from the consumer? The retailer. Who will pass this collected information to the wholesaler or manufacturer? Again the retailer. Getting my point? That is what this point 5 clearly says. Means of information to consumers and wholesalers. Both the way is a link. So whatever the information he gets from the producer, whatever the information he gets from the wholesaler, that information he is going to pass to the retailers. Sorry, pass to the consumers. So the same way, whatever the feedback he gets from the consumer, those feedback again he is going to give it back to the wholesaler or supplier. That is what means of information to consumers and wholesalers. So retailers acts as a last link between the end consumers and manufacturer or wholesalers. So in the distribution channel, retailers are in indirect contact with the consumers. So be clear, they are not directly contact, they are indirectly contact with the consumers. They are in close or personal contact with the end consumers. So consumer can supply better feedback or opinion about products they have consumed. So whatever how they felt after consuming that particular product, so whatever the feedback or opinion about that particular product, they can directly convey to the consumers. So the feedback is sent to the wholesalers or manufacturers. On the basis of this feedback, manufacturer or wholesalers take appropriate measures to satisfy the needs of consumers. Similarly, news about newly introduced goods or services are made known to the existing or prospective consumers also. So the retailers will not only collect the feedback from the consumers and supply it to the wholesalers or producers. At the same time, whatever the information about the new product and offers, that also will be supplied from the producers or wholesalers point to the retailers point. So this is also one of the most important point which you have to understand. So next, point number 6, forecasting the demand and purchasing arrangements. So retailers can easily guess the consumption pattern of consumers. They can observe the nature of consumers, attitudes, buying habits, savings, motive, spending capacity, etc. By virtue of their experience, on the basis of these factors, retailers are able to forecast the seasonal demand for goods. Accordingly, they replenish stock and make fresh purchases too. See, retailer will be having is a bundle of information. He will have a bundle of information. How? Because retailer is directly connected with the consumers. So consumers purchasing capacity, consumers income, so consumers spending capacity, more or less he will be knowing about those things. So when the sale increases, when it decreases, so what sales, what kind of products will be in more demand in seasons. So these information, so this kind of information will be directly collected by the retailers, so which he can give as a feedback to the producers, so where they can forecast their particular production or supply of particular goods. So next is point number 7, which clearly speaks about the consumers, how they agent, like how he is going to act as an agent between consumers agent between the wholesalers or manufacturers. So retailers in some point of time he'll act as a agent. So with whom he'll act, for whom he will become an agent, he'll become an agent for the purpose of ultimate consumer. So that is what point number 7 clearly speaks, acting as a consumer's agent. See, retailers act as a representative of consumers in many respects. They assist consumers in addition to supply of goods or services. So many cases they will act as an agent on behalf of their consumers. So how? So the following ways they will act as the agent. So point number 1, we can say that they can anticipate consumers' requirement in advance. So anticipate is nothing but plan, forecast. So they can plan what would be the consumer's requirement in the summer season. What would be the consumer's requirement in the vacation? What would be the consumer's requirement during school and colleges opening duration or timing? What would be their requirement during the rainy season? So all these will be forecasted. Second point, we can say that they can also forecast the seasonal demand and maintain adequate stock to meet such requirements. So there are few products which will be more in demand only during seasonal. If you take an example, during summer season, like soft drinks, cool drinks and ice creams will be in more demand. During rainy seasons, raincoats, then umbrellas will have more demand. During academic year, that is when schools or colleges gets open, automatically there will be more demand for academic related stationeries like books, pens, bags, so shoes, socks, uniform clothes, all this kind of clear. So apart from that, even in winter season there are specified food items will be in more demand. In summer season there are some specified products which will be consumed more and more. So this you will have a complete demand and he can maintain adequate stock with him. Next point, third point, they can supply required quantity at a reasonable price. So they will supply the goods at the required quantity. So according to the convenience of customer, the quantity of the products can be reduced at the price so where the consumer could offer. So they promise timely delivery. Obviously the retailers will give you a timely delivery as and when you require that particular products to be delivered. So next is they introduce newly manufactured goods by explaining their features. So they will explain the features of that particular goods very easily and they will introduce that particular product to the customers or to the market very easily. So that is the easiest task for them because they are the final link between the producers and the consumers. So next we can say they maintain door delivery, after sale services, etc. So retailers are get connected or give better service, so by giving doorstep delivery, that too at free of cost to the consumers. So these are all the major points which we can list out while speaking about the consumer agent, retailer as a consumer's agent. So next is point number 8. We can say that it is a marketing function, correct? So how retailers works as a marketing, what are all the activities which is done for the marketing or to promote a particular product by the retailers. So where the information passed to the ultimate consumer to buy that particular product. So let us understand now. Retailers performs various marketing function also. They are also as well, they will promote their product with the various things. So various functions. So what are all those functions? Let us understand. Number 1, sales promotion. Retailers will promote the sales. See, many times it would have happened with you people. It would have happened to you people. So that is, you might have wanted to buy some particular product in the market. You went with the intention of buying one particular product, you have already decided which one you wanted to buy. But when you reach the store, the seller will convert your idea. The seller will make you or convince you to buy a particular product which he wanted to sell. So he is having that sales promotion activity by his side. So where it is easier, because he will be direct connection with the consumer, and this task is going to be very easier for him. So next point, we can say that he will display of newly introduced goods. See, whenever you visit a retailer shops, so his window display will be there. What is this window display? So window display is nothing but the beautiful arrangement of the product in an showcase, showcase. So that is what we call it as a window display. So he will in most attractive manner he will display that newly introduced product, so where it absorbs or it seeks the attention of the consumer. So you might have seen newly introduced soap, so you will be create you will have some kind of arrangement like building blocks, or you might come up with some other idea of displaying, so which directly seek your attention towards that particular product. So next is free advertisement. So retailers provides free advertisement through pasting the posters of that particular product in front of a shop, and he will verbally advertise about that particular product. So this product is newly introduced, it is lesser price, it is very good, so you can use this product. All kind of activities he will do. So next is provision of research data. So retailer will collect the data directly from the consumers, so which is mainly important, which is needed by the producers or needed by the wholesalers. So next is distribution of goods. As you all know that a retailer is the ultimate link between the producers and the consumers. So he will help a wholesaler or producers to distribute their particular goods. This is also one of the important marketing function. And information about price sensation. So if he will have information about the prices, he will give the hint to the consumers. So there might be a chance of increasing the price in coming days, or he might give you an information to his customers that the price might decrease in the coming days. So this is also one of the marketing information which he passes both to the producers or wholesalers and to the consumers. So which is very, very important in a producer's perspective, to plan, to produce, to stock, in the perspective of buying and budgeting and keeping things ready for the consumer viewpoint. So next is product quality improvement. So the retailer will collect the complete information about the product directly from the consumers. Clear? So when he collects the information directly from the consumers, so he will have a bundle of feedback, so which will help the producers where exactly he is supposed to improve his quality, where exactly he is supposed to increase the quality of his goods, or where he has to do some changes. So that complete information will be provided by the retailer. So these are all the major function of retailing business, so which we have understood. So we will stop here and we'll continue in the next session. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. See you soon.